Hello, welcome to another episode of Carling Win the League. With me this week to debate all the hottest talking points in football, it's a very happy Man United fan, Joe from the Football Daily. How are you, mate?
Even better after beating West Ham, mate. Great result.
I thought you'd mention that. And a man with over 800 senior appearances and former Bolton skipper Kevin Davies. Kev, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here.
Good man. We've also got some great prizes courtesy of our mates at Carling. Stay tuned to find out how you can win them. But first, let's get cracking with your questions. Right, our first question comes from Tom Moore on Soccerim's Instagram account. He says, out of all the players that had debuts, who do you think had the best and why?
I think it was a massive occasion for Huddersfield Town coming up Premier League. Tough place to go.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace first away game. Not many people expect them to do well this year. And I think with Steve Mounier up front, I think it was two shots on target, 2 goals. What a debut for him. I think he signed him for 12 million from Montpellier. 22 years old, I think he could be a real steal. You look at that kind of fee in this day and age, it's not a lot of money.
No.
And I think if he can get 15, 20 goals from him, they'll have a chance of staying up and doing well. I think they could be a bit of a surprise package for the squad with him. Yeah, I think it could be, yeah. And I think they're going to cause a few upsets. They might take 1 or 2 spankings along the way, and you know, from some of the bigger teams, but I think they're a good team, and I think I'm looking forward to seeing how they do this year.
Yeah, Steve Mounier, first 2 shots on target in English football. Not a bad debut, Joe.
Yeah.
Are you going to just say every Man United player that had a debut? Is that how this is going to work?
Potentially, I was. However, I think Lacazette as well in with a really good shout for the best debut. We're talking about, like Big Kev said, Mounier with his shots on target and goals record, very impressive. Lacazette, first shot on target in the Premier League, first goal, and it was a really good header as well, I thought. Guided it lovely into the corner. I think that was just his second touch of the game, first touch came at kickoff. So an immediate impact, but yeah, Man United-wise, Nemanja Matic, what a start. I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
Your strikers union, Kev, I thought you'd mention a striker. A lot of strikers, we said Morata scored, Lacazette scored, Lukaku scored. It was a good weekend for the strikers, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of poor defending around, but that's not going to be wrong. I mean, so many goals flying in. The first game of the season, sometimes you come a little bit of slack, I think, but there's a lot of work to be done on the training ground with the defence.
I'm going to chuck a name out there. You probably know what I'm going to say. Kyle Walker-Peters. First start for Tottenham, man of the match on his Premier League debut. Hear me out here. The 8th academy graduate for Spurs to debut under Poch. Now, Joe's not happy because we didn't spend £80 million on a player from a foreign league. We're blooding more English talent into the first team. A lot of respect has to go to Poch for the way he's going about his business, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, you're a Spurs fan. You want to see players coming through that academy. We talk about Southampton's academy, players constantly coming off their conveyor belt. And I think when you're involved in that academy system as well, to know that you're going to get a chance, it's fantastic for those young players coming through too.
Okay, of all these players that we've mentioned, then finally, which player do you think will have the biggest impact this season?
The biggest impact this season, Lukaku.
Lukaku?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's close. I think Matic as well. I mean, he just, in alongside Pogba there, and that's a real proper centre midfield, I think. Keep him fit, and I think he'll allow those attacking players at Man United to go and do the business.
Right, our next question comes from Aidan McCrory 12, who says, what is wrong at Chelsea and do they need to bring in another signing? If so, who? What is going on at Chelsea?
Don't know, it seems to be a little bit of a mess, doesn't it? I think to be 3-0 down at half time against Burnley, obviously Gary Cahill getting sent off with a poor tackle. Seems to be problems within the dressing room. I think there's always going to be 2 sides to the story. This text message seems to be doing the rounds a little bit, and I think if that is true, it's not the best man management. No. And Conte, look, he seems to be a very, this is my way or the highway kind of guy. It can just upset the flow of the dressing room. Even though they won the league last year, the confidence he should be really taking to the season. Just mess around with the dressing room. I've been involved in that in the past.
Have you been involved in that when a player's unsettled? Does that unsettle the whole dressing room, or is it a case the players then want that player out? How do players react to that sort of situation?
Generally, if you've got a good squad of players, it'll be all right, you'll deal with it, because we had Nicholas Anelka at Bolton, I remember, who's a fantastic player, and people probably saw Bolton as too small of a club for him to come to, but he came from wherever he came from, £7 million something, great signing for us, did really well, but then he wanted to move away, and he started to be a little bit disruptive, and it just started to upset people a little bit, pre-season, going to his season. He got his move in the end to Chelsea, and you move on.
Do you think people look at Chelsea's opening game and they're creating a mountain out of a molehill because they were down to 9 men, or do you think it is part of a wider problem?
It's definitely part of a wider problem. I think first things first on the pitch, they sort out the discipline. 4 sendings off in the last 3 competitive games is absolutely unacceptable if you're Chelsea Football Club. And I'm sure that's something Conte will have a word with them in the team meetings and on the training ground, because the tackle from Gary Cahill 15 minutes in, does that need to happen? And then Fabregas' sending off is just appalling. clapping the referee like that unnecessarily, and then a really lazy tackle.
You know what
as
I think can affect that? Talk about discipline.
Yeah.
When you've got someone like Costa who's saying, I'm not going to report, the players think there's no discipline at the club.
They're now out there chasing their tails, trying to get homegrown quota filled. Looks like they're going to go after the likes of Danny Drinkwater at £25 million. Is he an upgrade on Matic? Clearly not. He's a downgrade again.
Kev, will Conte be at Chelsea this time next year, do you think?
I can't really answer that.
Can't answer it?
I think he's gone.
I think he's gone.
I don't see Conte staying past Christmas. I think he's absolutely at war with the board. I think the board want to run the club one way and Conte wants to run it a completely other.
Chelsea fans, let us know what you think. Will Conte be at Chelsea past Christmas? Okay, the next question comes from Zach, who wants to know, who should Liverpool replace Coutinho with if he goes? Now, it's worth pointing out, at the time of filming, he's still a Liverpool player. Liverpool have said he's not for sale, but Coutinho has handed in a transfer request. Kev, has this ever happened in your situation where you've either handed in a transfer request or someone in your dressing room has, and how does that affect the dressing room?
Transfer request, I've never handed one in, but I've been advised to go in and bang the manager's door down.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I had an agent who was a friend at the time when I was at Bolton, been there nine and a half years, captain. Transfer deadline morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, January. Banging the door down, we're going to Sunderland. Martin O'Neill's on the phone.
This is on deadline day?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was in the last year of my contract, 33, so it was, as you get a little bit older, you want to know where your security lies and stuff. So I just, had breakfast, get the kids ready for school, and we went into the training ground early. And he said, you need to go in there, bang the door down, demand you want to go. And I've been there 9.5 years and it didn't sit right with me.
No.
So the agents do have a lot of power, they do have a lot of influence over young players. Listen, when you talk about big money moves, there's a lot of money at stake for the agent and the players and the clubs.
Was this more money than what they were talking about for you going to
I was offered
Sunderland
more money to go
Yeah.
there, and the deal wasn't right, and I was the captain of the club. I was very happy there, even though I'd not been playing so much, getting a little bit older. I had a conversation with Owen Cole at the time, and we said we'd discuss a new contract at the right time. I was captain, we were in a precarious position. I wanted to stay and fight for survival. We got relegated that year, the move never happened. Martin O'Neill was on the phone, saying I was trying to get a new contract at Bolton, using that. That does happen a lot.
Wow.
Wasn't the case, I'd been there, I loved the club. Ended up staying there and we got relegated. Was it the right or wrong decision? I thought it was the right decision. We just missed out on the last day, got relegated at Stoke, but I felt it was the right one at the time. But you put a young player who's been influenced heavily by a group of agents, a lot of money at stake, will triple your wages. It can be a difficult situation.
Yeah, I think it's Barcelona mainly. I think that Coutinho actually really likes Liverpool. I don't think he's desperate to leave. He's obviously talked quite openly about how much he loves the club, and they kind of reinvigorated his career. When he first joined the club, he wasn't the superstar he is now, and Liverpool have really pushed him on to a higher level. But when Barcelona come calling, you're talked up as being a sort of Neymar replacement. It's hard because he is so vital to that Liverpool team. He really links the midfield to the attack. Something I thought they struggled really badly against Watford. I think they played 72 long balls against Watford, which was more than Leicester played against Arsenal.
Is Coutinho good enough to start for that Barcelona team, do you think?
He's good enough to start in current state. I think Barcelona in a bit of disarray after the Neymar move. Obviously, they bought in Paulinho for 40 million euros, which is an absolute bucket load from China. Yeah. So he'll go this summer. They'll sign, like Kevin said, a defender to replace him.
Super Kev, how long will Coutinho be at Liverpool, do you think?
I'd be surprised if he's there at the end of this window. I think you have to take the money, but I think they'll drag it out as long as they can to get the best price.
Sorry, Liverpool fans. Looks like the panel think that he is off. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Right, we're also celebrating 25 years of the Premier League. So with that said, as we've got Super Kev on the show, and Kevin, you were a bit of a hard man, it's fair to say. Listen to this. Since Opta Records began in 03-04, you are the most fouled player in Premier League history, as well as the player that gave away the most fouls. You won 727 fouls. Check this out. Conceded 926 fouls. Did you know that stat?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Definitely knew
competitive, I'd say.
Yeah.
You did like a tackle, didn't you?
Yeah, I quite liked it. I just like the innocent. I was brought up on a council estate. I grew up playing against my older brothers. He was 10 years older, and it was rough. Yeah. You weren't allowed to cry. You get smashed. You get up and you try and get them back. And I think at the age of 7, 8, so I was brought up in that manner. I just think it developed people. I don't know. I just like. I like the battle. I like coming up against the centre half or the left back, and I like trying to win that battle on the day. But afterwards, it was like a pint after. In the old days back in League 2, League 1, you'd have a good old battle, a few cuts and a few bruises, have a few pints, and have a laugh, and you go on. But I think listen, the game's changed a lot since then, hasn't it?
Yeah,
But
back in your Chesterfield days.
yeah, but I did love a tackle, yeah. And, 60, 40, 70, 30, I'll go in.
So, who was the biggest hard man you ever came up against?
There's a few, I think Stuart Pearce, he was just an animal, wasn't he? You see, I got big thighs, his were double the size of mine, and we had a few battles along the way. There was one time, we had a tackle, he's at West Ham, and he stayed down for a little bit. He didn't come back out for the second half, played on for 15, 20 minutes, and then found out afterwards he broke his leg, and I'm thinking, fair play. I've played on with broken cheeks, a broken toe and a broken hand and stuff, but to have a broken leg and play on, and he got me back. It wasn't a bad tackle on my part, but the following year he launched me up in the air, took a yellow card and said, yeah, there you go, son. But he was, I just thought it was, you talk about hard men, what is a hard man? Some people, they act hard, don't they? But he was a proper hard man. I mean that tackle, it was a hard tackle. But I think he was up there. Roy Keane, I think you have to put in there, don't you? Just in terms of his presence. I think he won half his battles, coming out before the game. In the tunnel.
The Keane and Vieira moment is such an iconic Premier League moment, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, he just has that presence about him, doesn't he? He's so intimidating. But for me, the harder the better. If it's a Vidic or whatever it was, I loved it. I couldn't wait for the battle to commence. Really.
Joe, who do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Kevin. I think Roy Keane had more to his game than just being a hard man. He had the ability to match that sense of mind out on the pitch. He was ferocious at times when he needed to be, but equally he could put Juventus to bed.
I think John Terry was someone I really respect because we'd have a real good battle. I remember he jumped Monty, landed funny, did his shoulder and got stretchered off. Afterwards, he sort of you all right kind of thing, and he'd give me a couple of signed bits and bobs because I was running a charity at the time, and we had that mutual respect. Nemanja Vidic probably a little bit different. Had some real battles with him as well. But he didn't take the physical side too much.
Really?
Did he not?
No, I thought he was a bit of a screamer, caught him a few times, not intentionally.
There we go.
And afterwards would never shake my hand.
Nemanja Vidic, sorry, he's never shaken your hand?
No, he would not shake my hand after. There's always a bit of a build-up with Bolton and Man United and the fans, and Patrice Evra was another one who we used to go at it a little bit. But, it adds to the game, doesn't it? But until we played in the golf day recently, he's on the opposite team. We met on the driving range in the morning and it was a bit frosty, but we did shake hands then, it was all right.
Love stories like that.
Yeah.
Vidic, you're not as funny as he was a hard man, wasn't he?
For us, Vidic was like the epitome of a hard man. His hard man status alongside Rio Ferdinand's ball playing ability worked brilliantly. I mean, there's tales, isn't there, of Vidic going to Sir Alex Ferguson and saying, I'm signing up for the military in Serbia, and Fergie going, you're absolutely not. So that does come out and shock me a little bit. But Nemanja Vidic, on paper, a hard man, but Kevin's put it to bed. Obviously not with a screamer.
Yeah, bit of a screamer, you heard it here first. Right, that is it. Big thanks to our guest, Joe. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
And Kev, some amazing stories there. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah, it was good.
Great to have you on. Don't forget, you can be in with a chance of winning some great prizes thanks to our mates at Carling. All you've got to do is buy a promotional can of Carling and scan it using the Carling Tap app. You could win Premier League tickets. You can even win the Premier League trophy in your living room. We'll be back next week with another Premier League legend. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you later.